Alright guys, so finally here in Oklahoma, doing first shed trip of the year for 2025. Just gonna bounce around and put a bunch of miles in the boots on some public land and hopefully turn up some brownies. But so far, I mean, it looks like maybe half the bucks have started shedding. I've had a few that have dropped both sides, and maybe a handful of others that have only dropped one side. Seen some deer earlier. It looked like maybe like 4 or 5 of them were still holding both sides, and then the others, I mean, I couldn't tell what they were. It was so quick. They may have been does or possibly shed bucks. If they were young, but I don't know. It should be good. I mean, either way, we're gonna get some boots on the ground, and every time you're out, you know, you learn something, you know, about the landscape, the deer, see where they're bedding, where they're going to be at. You know, typically this time of the year is the areas that they're still going to be hanging around during an early season, you know, early fall. So we'll keep y'all updated, and hopefully we can pick up some bone. So stay tuned. Just came up on this giant hog waller. It's crazy the kind of destruction they can cause. Definitely a nuisance. They done rubbed all these trees up from a distance. I thought it was a bunch of buck rubs, but it's just mud and clay just all over these trees. All through here. Kind of down this little marshy bottom here. But still haven't picked up no sheds yet. Got a dead hog here. That's good. Someone's out here hunting them and helping with the population. Man, this wind is terrible, but just came up on a deadhead. Looks like a decent deer. Not a bad little 8-point. Well, so far, 1 deadhead and 2 sheds, a little set. So just now finally walking up on first shed, and now I just noticed a second one, so more than likely it's a match set. Hopefully it is. So let's get a pickup on these. This one here, little 4-point, and then right over here, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the other side, is the other side. So about time. And then just walk. Eventually you'll come across them. Not bad. Alright, shed number 3. Looks like a freshie. Yep. It's got the wax ring on it. Little 3-point, no brow. But I'll take it. Alright. Looks like we just found another deadhead. Looks like a really old deer. All chewed up. Yeah, he's been there for a while. Probably a decent deer at one time. Good bases. Alright, walking up on a old chewed up horn. Man, that thing's got some mass. Too bad them squirrels had at it. Oh, there's the haul for the day. Got 1 freshie, old chewed up, old deadhead, another old one, and then a hard white from last year's set. So not bad. Probably put 10 miles in today in the boots. So hopefully tomorrow's better. I know the weather's gonna be a lot nicer. All right, day 2, and just got started. Not very far in, just came up on looks like a pretty nice deadhead. Oh yeah, it's chewed up pretty good. Man, it's a beautiful buck. Well, it's a good start to the day. All right, looks like we're finally walking up on the first shed for the day. Probably 5 miles in, and me and my buddy Landon haven't found nothing but a deadhead. The one I found earlier this morning, like the first 5 minutes, we thought it was gonna be a good day. Oh, this looks like an old match set. Yep, side by side. Some old chalky ones. How about that? It's not chewed up, but hard white, kind of chalky. That's a cool little horn. Huh. Pretty neat. All right, ending the day pretty good. Second shed within, I don't know, I'd say about 100 yards. Pickup of it. Not a bad shed last year, but I'll take it to end the day. 2 sheds so far. Not bad. Literally a tree stand 15 yards away from it right here in this tree. And this thing was last year's. I wonder how many times I got walked by it going to get up in that tree. Within 30 minutes, I've found 3 of them. But yeah, it's a chalker. All right, well that's it. It's the end of day 3. We only did about a half a day today. Walked a few miles. Just don't think they're really dropping right now, but I don't know, we probably walked somewhere between 30 and 40 miles, and maybe I came across a handful of fresh sheds. Everything else has just been old, chalky and stuff. So that's the only freshie that I found while we were up here. Found that one yesterday, that's last year's. Then the first day, a little match set, a couple years old. Another match set, probably 3 years old. And then old chalky, the cool little, I don't even know what to call that, some type of crown or turkey foot looking antler there. A few years old, and then this big shed that was just demolished by the squirrels. I mean, they had a buffet with it. And then nice little 8-point, few years old. And then a slammer, but squirrels also got to him pretty good. Really good mass. I mean, we learned a lot, got a lot of intel, scouted some new spots, but I just don't think they're dropping, so might give it about another week or so and then come back and try to hit it again. Other than that, we just pretty much got some really good cardio and burned some calories and getting ready for that hunt that we have coming up in Alaska on Kodiak Island. So it's going to be some pretty tough terrain and tough conditions, so might as well start preparing for it now. And I guess shed hunting's probably the funnest way to do that, other than going running or to the gym on a treadmill or something. But yep, I mean, overall it wasn't a bad weekend. There's my little camper, little chair back there, and then not a whole lot out here. Everything's still pretty dead, which is good for finding sheds, but hopefully they start dropping before things start, you know, blooming and greening up, because then it's just going to be almost impossible to find them unless you walk right on top of them. So I don't know. Next weekend, probably come here, spend a couple days here, and then after that, we're probably going to head up to Kansas, bounce around a few pieces of public there, and then Nebraska as well. Got some pretty good spots up there. Had a really giant buck on camera all last deer season. I mean, he was somewhere around probably 180, 190. And I'd like to go up there and try to find his shed. So be a week-long shed hunting trip coming up. So definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully we have better luck up there. I know the deer start to shed a little bit earlier, so most of them will probably shed up there by now. But go ahead and get back on the road and head back to Texas. So we'll be back at it next week.